the center of the galaxy, a massive hall floated in open space. This was the Galactic Council chamber. Here, powerful alien races decided the fate of worlds. Bright lights covered the ceiling. Tall beings with sharp eyes and glowing skin sat in curved rows. Their voices echoed with confidence and pride. A giant screen activated in the middle of the hall. A small blue planet appeared, spinning slowly. The name below it was simple: Earth. Laughter spread across the chamber. Some aliens leaned back in their seats. Others shook their heads. One elder alien spoke with clear amusement. "That world again," he said. "Our oldest prototype, our greatest failure." The council laughed louder. To them, Earth was a joke, a weak experiment that should have ended long ago. They remembered how Earth was created: unstable weather, violent storms, burning heat, freezing cold. A place where survival itself was a test. "Look at the species living there," another alien said. "Small bodies, no claws, no armor. They cry, they fear. They feel too much." The council agreed. Humans were emotional creatures. Creatures that bonded, suffered, and broke easily. Useful only as workers, someone added. They adapt slowly and die fast. What the council ignored was history. Earth was not abandoned because humans failed. Earth was sealed because humans survived everything. Disasters that wiped out stronger species did not end them. Wars that should have destroyed them only hardened them. Pain became their teacher. As the laughter continued, an alarm suddenly rang through the chamber. Red lights flashed, interrupting the mockery. An officer stepped forward, confused. "A ship has entered restricted space," he announced. "It is human?" The council burst into laughter again. "A lost cargo ship," one alien joked, probably begging for help. The screen changed, showing the ship. Old metal, damaged surface, outdated design, no escort, no visible weapons. Scans revealed only one life sign: a single human on board. No army, no threat. Pathetic. An elder said, "Humans still wander where they do not belong." The ship moved forward calmly. It did not change direction. It did not send distress signals. Inside the ship, the human sat quietly. His hair was gray, his uniform worn, his eyes were steady and focused. This man was a veteran. He had survived wars erased from public records, wars fought in silence. His ship carried more than cargo. Behind sealed doors, two alien sisters lay unconscious, royal blood, hunted by their own empire. Back in the council chamber, weapons systems began to charge. Energy built slowly, filling the air with tension. The laughter softened into confident smiles. "Ended," the council leader said. He raised a reminder of our mistake. As targeting systems locked on, a strange mark appeared on the ship's hull, an ancient symbol burned deep into the metal. Some elders froze, their eyes widened slightly. That symbol was forbidden. Records of it had been deleted. Stories about it were buried. Only whispers remained. The laughter faded. The hall grew quiet. Fear touched the edges of pride. A communication channel opened. The human's voice came through, calm and controlled. "I suggest," he said softly, "you do not continue." The council stared in silence. The human spoke again, slower this time. "Please, do not call the Emperor's Guard." The chamber went completely silent. Because only one species ever warned the galaxy like this. The Galactic Council chamber stayed silent. No one laughed now. The forbidden words still echoed in their minds. "Do not call the Emperor's Guard." Some elders shifted in their seats. Others avoided looking at the screen. Fear slowly replaced arrogance. One council member finally spoke. "He is bluffing. A single human cannot threaten us." Confidence returned in weak smiles. Orders were given to capture the ship instead of destroying it. They wanted answers. The human ship was surrounded by alien patrol craft. Energy fields locked it in place. Still, the ship did not resist. Inside, the veteran stood from his seat. His movements were slow, but controlled. He had done this many times before. His name was Captain Elias Kane, a name removed from public human records, a name known only in sealed archives. Long ago, Elias had fought in wars before the current galactic order. Wars where humans were not observers, but final solutions. He had served directly under the Emperor's Guard, not as a soldier, but as a survivor who kept being sent when no one else returned. The ship doors opened under alien command. Security drones entered, weapons ready. They found Elias standing, calmly, hands open. He shows no fear. One alien officer said, "That is unusual for a human." Elias spoke politely. "I am not your enemy. I am only passing through." The aliens searched the ship. Behind a sealed medical chamber, they found them, two young alien sisters, pale and injured. Gasps filled the alien channel. "They are royal blood," someone whispered. They were declared traitors. The sisters were members of an ancient alien house. Their own empire had turned against them. Because they knew the truth about humans, Elias had found them drifting, in damaged escape pods, hunted, betrayed, and close to death. He chose to help them without hesitation. Why would a human protect them? An officer demanded. Elias answered calmly, because no one else did. Back in the council chamber, panic spread quietly. If the sisters survived, secrets would come out, secrets about Earth. The council leader ordered immediate arrest. Take the human into custody. Secure the sisters. Energy cuffs closed around Elias's wrists. He did not resist. He only sighed softly. "I warned you," he said. "You should have let us leave." One elder sneered. "You are alone. You have no power here?" Elias looked up, his eyes sharp. "You still believe that?" As he was escorted away, the ship's internal systems activated on their own. Ancient codes awakened. Across deep space, something responded. Signals older than modern empires lit up, silent, unstoppable. The sisters slowly regained consciousness. They looked at Elias with fear and respect. "You should not have come here," one whispered. Elias gave a small smile. Too late for that. Back in the council chamber, sensors began to scream. Multiple warp signatures appeared. Far too many. The elders stared at the readings, their faces drained of color. This was no rescue fleet. This was judgment moving through space. And somewhere in the darkness, the Emperor's guard was already on its way. The Galactic Council chamber shook with warning sounds. Red lights flashed across ancient walls. The calm pride of the elders vanished. Sensors screamed again and again. Not one fleet, not two, dozens of warp signals tore through deep space. An officer's voice trembled as he spoke. "These signals are not Imperial fleets. They're older." Silence spread through the hall. Elders leaned forward, fear clear in their eyes. They all knew what that meant. Only one force used such ancient warp patterns. Only one force ignored borders and councils. The Emperor's. Gar, on the main screen. Space itself seemed to crack open. Massive human warships emerged, dark and silent. No flashing lights, no warning calls. Each ship carried symbols burned into black armor. The same forbidden marks seen on the human veteran's ship. Marks erased from public history. The laughter from earlier felt distant and foolish. Now, some elders struggled to breathe. Others whispered old prayers. "These are humans," one council member said in disbelief. "But not like the ones we know." The ships moved into perfect formation. Not aggressive, not rushed, simply inevitable. Back, on the captured human ship, Captain Elias Kane was pushed forward by guards. He walked calmly, chains glowing around his wrists. An alien commander confronted him. "You summoned them. You tricked us." Elias shook his head slowly. "I did not summon anyone. They were already watching." The commander froze. "What do you mean?" Elias looked toward the window. "They always watch, outside." A smaller vessel detached from the largest ship and moved toward the council station without resistance. No weapons powered up. A transmission cut through every channel. Clear, human, emotionless. "This is the Emperor's guard. We are here to retrieve our own." The words hit harder than any weapon. Retrieve our own, not rescue, not negotiate. The council leader stood, voice shaking. "Humans are not members of the guard. You were a prototype species." The transmission paused, then replied calmly. "Incorrect." Humans appeared on the screen. Tall figures in dark armor, faces hidden. Their presence felt heavy. "Earth was never a failure." The voice continued. "Earth was a filter." Images replaced the council view. Ancient wars, collapsing stars, burning civilizations, scenes erased from modern records. Every species failed, the voice said. They broke under pressure. The images changed. Humans fighting in impossible conditions, bleeding, retreating, returning stronger. They adapted, they endured, they learned. Back on the station, guards slowly stepped away from Elias. Fear overpowered orders. No one touched him now. The twin alien sisters were brought into view, weak but alive, their eyes full of understanding. "They know the truth," the guard said, "and so will the galaxy." The council leader tried to speak. His council governs the guard. Cut him off. You governed? A human officer appeared beside Elias, unlocked his restraints with one motion, and nodded respectfully. Captain Kane, he said. Stand down. Orders lifted. Elias straightened slightly, years of silence behind his eyes. Understood. Outside, the massive fleet remained still, waiting, watching, not threatening, because they did not need to. The council finally understood. Humans were not conquerors, they were containment. And the galaxy had just remembered. The Galactic Council chamber felt smaller now, not because the walls moved, but because the truth pressed down on everyone. The Emperor's Guard transmission stayed open, no anger in the voice, only calm certainty. You called Earth a prototype. The guard continued. That was never an insult. The main screen changed again. Old records unlocked, files hidden deeper than council lore. Worlds appeared one by one, perfect climates, stable gravity, rich resources, species designed for comfort and growth. They were given everything, the guard said, and they failed. The images showed collapse, first panic, then chaos, civilizations breaking under pressure. When disaster came, the voice continued. They waited for rescue. The screen shifted to Earth. Storms, earthquakes, floods, fires. A planet that never rested. Earth was different. Council members watched in silence. Humans appeared small on the screen, weak bodies, no natural weapons. They were not strong, they were not fast, they were not protected. Scenes played of humans struggling, losing cities, losing millions, still rebuilding. When humans fell, the guard said. They stood up. Wars appeared on the screen, humans fighting each other, learning cruelty, learning restraint. They learned from pain. They learned from loss. The council elder whispered. They should have destroyed themselves. They almost did, the guard replied, but they chose to survive. The images changed again. Early space travel. Humans reaching stars with weak ships. They explored not because they were ready, but because they were curious. Captain Elias Kane stood quietly as he watched. His face showed no pride, only memory. This is why Earth was called a prototype, Cliffsguard explained. Not a final design. Earth tested something no lab could. How a species grows under constant threat. The council leader swallowed. You made them suffer on purpose. No, the guard said calmly. The universe did. The images now showed humans in secret wars, standing beside guard units, holding impossible lines. When the galaxy faced extinction, we sent humans, not because they were perfect, but because they adapted. One elder shook in fear. He used them as shields. The guard answered without pause. They volunteered. The twin alien sisters were brought forward, supported by medical drones. Their voices were weak, but clear. Our people lied, one sister said. They told us humans were dangerous animals. They were wrong, the other added. Humans were guardians. The council murmured in shock. Truth spread faster than fear now. Captain Elias finally spoke, his voice quiet but firm. Earth was never meant to rule. It was meant to endure. He looked around the chamber, at the beings who once laughed. You built comfort. He continued. We built strength. The guard transmission dimmed slightly. The test is over, the voice said. The galaxy now knows. The council leader lowered his head. What happens to us? The answer came calmly. That depends on what you learned. Outside, the guard fleet remained motionless, not as conquerors, but as watchers. Earth's secret was no longer hidden. The prototype had completed its purpose, and the galaxy understood at last. Humans were not a mistake. They were the answer. The Galactic Council chamber remained silent for a long moment. No alarms, no shouting, only the weight of truth settling in. The Emperor's Guard fleet still waited outside, not moving closer, not leaving. They did not need to prove anything. Their presence alone was enough. The council leader finally stood. His voice was no longer proud. It was careful. We misjudged Earth, he said. We mocked what we did not understand. Other council members followed. Some lowered their heads. Others looked at the screen showing Earth. A small world. Violent, unstable, yet alive. We request peace, the leader continued, and forgiveness. Captain Elias Kane listened quietly. He had heard apologies before. Most came too late. The Emperor's Guard transmission replied, Peace is not a gift, it is a responsibility. The council accepted the words. Laws were changed in that moment. Records were corrected. Earth was no longer listed as a failed prototype. It was reclassified as a guardian world, a designation older than the council itself. Across the station, the twin alien sisters watched in silence. Their injuries were healing, their fear slowly fading. "You saved us," one sister said softly to Elias, even when it brought danger. Elias nodded. "Someone once did the same for me." The sisters were granted protection, not as prisoners, but as witnesses. They would help rebuild trust between species, not through power, but through truth. The Emperor's Guard prepared to depart, their mission complete, their message delivered. Before the transmission closed, the Guard spoke one final time. "Humanity does not seek control. We step forward only when needed, and today you needed reminding." The channel went dark. One by one, the massive ships folded space and vanished, leaving only stars behind. On the station, life slowly returned, but nothing felt the same. Captain Elias was escorted back to his ship. No guards this time, only respectful distance. The sisters chose to stay aboard, not as refugees, but as allies. The old human ship drifted away from the council station, quiet, unarmed, unchallenged. As it entered open space, Elias looked at the stars, his expression calm. Humanity would never be worshipped, and it did not need to be. Respect was enough. Far away, on Earth, life continued as it always had. People struggled, loved, failed, and tried again. They did not know what had changed in the galaxy, and they did not need to, because humans had never survived for praise. They survived because they could. The galaxy would remember this day, the day laughter turned into understanding. They laughed at Earth's prototype, until Earth answered back, not with conquest, not with anger, but with endurance. And in the silence of space, humanity continued forward, quietly watching, quietly ready.